Nathan never believed in repairing what was broken, especially not with family. His father, a man of quiet strength and structure, had been his moral compass. But everything changed when he married. Evelyn came into their lives when Nathan was already a grown man, and no matter how kind she tried to be, he kept her at arm's length. She wasn't part of his story. She was an unwelcome footnote now standing outside the old house. His father's pride. Nathan felt a strange pull in his chest. The crisp air was tinged with pine and drying leaves. The place looked the same, yet emptier, like a book left open, but forgotten. A year had passed since his father died, and Nathan hadn't returned. Until we might have stayed away forever. If Evelyn hadn't called, her message had been calm, but something in her tone had unsettled him, like there was something unresolved. He hesitated at the door before knocking it open. Quickly. Evelyn stood there, composed but tired around the eyes. "I wasn't sure you'd come," she said softly. Nathan gave no reply and stepped. Inside, the scent of cinnamon clung to the air, whether it was a fresh pie or just memory playing tricks he couldn't. "Tell I'm glad you're here," she said, hands clasped in front of her. "There's something we need to talk about if this is about the house he cut in. I've already told you I don't want any part of it. It's not that," she replied. "It's about what your father wanted before he passed. He asked me to keep this home. I live not as property, but as a place for connection. He didn't want it left to decay." Nathan crossed his arms. "He never said anything to me." "I know," she admitted. "But he hoped we might try together." He shook his head, a bitter laugh. "Escaping, he knew how things were between us. He must have known that wasn't realistic. He believed people change," she said gently. "That time makes room for healing." He glanced away. Swallowing hard, for years he'd blamed her for taking his father's attention, for being part of a life that didn't include his mother. But now, as he looked at her, he saw someone else. Not the rival he'd imagined, but a woman who had lost someone too. "I don't know how to do this," he said finally. "I'm not asking for anything big," she said, "just a chance to honor him together." They sat at the kitchen table in silence. Evelyn poured tea, her movements graceful, practiced. He didn't drink the air-held mix of scents, tea-old books, and the faint cologne his father used to. Or then she reached into a drawer and returned with a sealed envelope. "He left you a letter?" she said, sliding it toward him. "He asked me to give it to you." Nathan hesitated before picking it up. The handwriting was unmistakable. "Sharp, deliberate, Nathan, I know there's pain you carry, and much of it is tied to me. I never meant for Evelyn to replace anything or anyone. I only hope to find joy again. I wish I'd had more time to help you understand that love isn't betrayal. It's a second chance. Take care of her not out of duty, but because she deserves kindness, Dad." Nathan blinked. His father had never been one for long talks or soft words. Yet here in ink was something rare, a confession and an apology. Evelyn watched him silent. He placed the letter down and exhaled. "I didn't hate you." "Ah," he said, eyes still on the paper. "I just thought accepting you meant letting goof her completely." She nodded, her voice quiet. "You don't have to forget to move forward. Love adds, it doesn't replace." He looked around the room. It didn't feel so cold anymore. "I want to help," he said at last. "With the house, with whatever comes next." Her eyes softened. "I'd like that." In the weeks that followed, Nathan returned to the house often. He painted walls, fixed squeaky hinges, and sifted through boxes filled with forgotten mementos. Slowly, what once felt like an unwanted inheritance became something more, something he could care for, maybe even call his own one night. He found Evelyn on the porch watching the stars. "I used to think moving on meant pretending. Nothing ever mattered," he said as he joined her. "But I think I was wrong." She smiled without looking at him. Letting go doesn't erase what was, it just makes space for what might still be. Nathan nodded, and for the first time in years he believed that this house wasn't just his father's legacy. It was an invitation to start again.